Hello, friends. What happens when an empire wins the world, but forgets its own people? As my canoe glides past the crowded banks of the city, it's easy to imagine the noise of old Rome, the clang of blacksmiths, the clatter of carts, and the shouts of merchants in 10 different languages. From the outside, Rome looked unstoppable. Inside, though, the foundation was creaking. Rome had conquered Italy, paved roads across the land, and stuffed its treasury with gold. But all that glory came with a price, and not everyone was getting paid. Let's start with the farmers. The humble Roman citizen soldiers who had once defended the Republic were now in trouble. After years away at war, many returned home to find their land taken, their farms ruined, and their families deep in debt. And while they were fighting for Rome, Rome had changed. Big landowners, the patrician elite, had gobbled up farms to create massive estates called latifundia. And who worked these estates? Slaves, by the thousands, captured from conquered lands. Why pay a Roman when you could work someone for free? The small farmer? Out of luck. Many were forced to sell what little they had and move to the city, hoping to survive. What they found was a capital bursting at the seams, with crowds, poverty, and frustration. This created a new class of citizens, the urban poor, known as the proletari, too poor to fight, too many to ignore. They had one thing the elites still needed: votes. And that's where things got spicy. Enter the popularists, politicians who courted the people with promises of reform, land, and grain. Then came the optimates, the defenders of the old order, clinging to tradition and privilege. Senate debates turned into screaming matches, street corners turned into battlegrounds. The city buzzed with tension like a toga stretched too tight. In the midst of this unrest, a pair of brothers tried to fix things. Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus. Tiberius proposed redistributing land to the poor, noble idea, very unpopular with the wealthy. He was murdered. Then came Gaius, who tried to reform grain laws and courts. He too met a violent end. Reformers became martyrs, and violence became a political strategy. Meanwhile, the army was changing. Generals like Marius started recruiting from the poor, promising land and loot instead of relying on land-owning citizens. Soldiers became loyal to their commanders, not the Senate. It was a slow, dangerous shift, like loading a cart with too many amphorae and hoping it doesn't tip. All around, the signs were there. Massive wealth in the hands of a few, an angry, hungry population in the slums, senators turning swords into political arguments, and vice versa. And yet, Rome still strutted proudly through its forums and theaters, pretending nothing was wrong. But beneath the marble, the cracks were growing. The Republic had once stood for shared governance and civic virtue. Now it was creaking under the weight of ambition, inequality, and unrest. How long could it hold? As I steer my canoe past the ancient stone docks, I can almost hear the rumblings. Not of horses or carts, but of revolution, brewing in the alleyways, whispered in the baths. Because next time, we dive into the stormy lives of those caught between honor and betrayal. Men who were hailed as heroes one day and branded as traitors the next. Coming up, Heroes and Traitors, Coriolanus and Others.